Let's take the reading today.
Paul Coelho.
I'm just going to take a select random reading from the Manual of the Warrior of the Light, one of my favorite books.
The warrior of light has learned that it is best to follow the light.
Okay. The warrior of light has learned that it is best to follow the light. He has behaved treacherously, he has lied, he has strayed from the path, and he has courted darkness, and everything was fine as if nothing had happened. Then an abyss suddenly opens up. You can take 1,000 steps in safety, but just one step too many can put an end to everything. Then the warrior stops before he destroys himself. When he makes that decision, he hears 4 comments. You always do the wrong thing. You're too old to change. You're no good. You don't deserve it. He looks up at the sky, and a voice says, My dear, everyone makes mistakes. You're forgiven. But I cannot force that forgiveness on you. It's your choice. The true warrior of light accepts that forgiveness. How many Christians, such an important message. How many Christians, how many people say it is so important to forgive other people? And they do, but they don't even forgive themselves. There's nothing more insidious that I can think of, or evil, than someone taking their own thoughts and energy to condemn themselves with negative thoughts about themselves. In other words, if you don't forgive yourself, take your own energy and beat yourself up with it. That's horrible, isn't it? But yet people do it all the time. They say, well, I can't forgive myself, or I can't forgive what that person has done. Well, Christ commands us to forgive. You don't need a reason to do it. But perhaps one of the greatest reasons to do it is to relieve your mind of the energy that's being consumed in unforgiveness, because it's a disease and it drains us, whether you're not forgiving yourself or you're failing to forgive someone else. And failing to forgive other people can help you, prevent you from moving on to a higher level. It can prevent them from moving on. We live in a society in Western culture where blame is like such an important thing. We always, every time something goes wrong, we have to find out who it is to blame for it. And we have to either send them to prison or punish them in some way, even though they may already be punished by the simple fact that they realize they've done something wrong and they have to live with it. And we fail to recognize that. We have to heap an additional punishment on top of them, sometimes when an accident occurs. It wasn't even something that happened by intention. And the interesting thing is that Jesus has been telling us for 2,000 years, the most important message he gives is to forgive and to recognize that we're not perfect. When someone recognizes they've done something wrong and you really feel bad about it, is it really necessary to heap additional punishment on it? Usually there are circumstances that already need to be fixed if somebody does something wrong, and that fixing can be punishment enough. But any more punishment heaped on someone who realizes that they've done something wrong is just unnecessary, in my opinion. Okay? Restitution, that's necessary. That may need to be taking place, but additional punishment when someone knows they did something wrong is not right. And the punishers, those who we have this false doctrine of when people go to court and someone gets convicted and they think, well, now that person gets the death penalty, now I can live on and feel okay. That's a false doctrine. Even most modern psychology today tells us that it is necessary to forgive those who have hurt us in order to fully complete with an issue. Not seeing the person punished and thrown into prison. They may need to be punished and kept from society in order to protect society. But the punishment and the unforgiveness does not lead to the real release of and freedom for the victim. So there's so much wound up in this simple concept of not using, Christ commands us to forgive. That includes forgive ourselves when we know that we've done something wrong, rather than take our own energy and use it to destroy ourselves. Pretty deep, huh? All right.